Hello again, Nick.
Hi, Doug.
You had talked before the game about your team and your ability to make adjustments and changes and react on the fly. How much do you have to do in the next day, do you think?
Well, we're going to have to do some, Doug, that's for sure. But, I don't really know what to say about how to characterize that game as far as adjustments and stuff go. We just, obviously, we're not ourselves. I think more we're going to have to play a lot better. I think especially, well, I don't know. I think especially at the offensive end, I just thought we really we just weren't really very good, and we didn't make many shots, and we didn't play with great composure down there. Probably didn't execute very well, but it was a rough one out there today, Doug, on a lot of fronts. I think that the actual X and O's and the tactical part of it, obviously, we'll need to do better. But it wasn't a very good rhythm out there today for us.
They did seem to bottle up Fred very effectively and Pascal as well. Did you see anything in the immediacy that made it look like why they were able to do that so effectively?
Yeah, I mean, I think. Let's talk about Fred first. I don't think he had as good opportunities maybe as Pascal did. I thought Pascal had some, point blank layups. He got to a lot of good spots, and he just couldn't get any of them to go. I mean, a couple of them were just literally like right in front of the basket, and he left them short. And he had a couple wide open threes. He had probably the best three ball looks of just about anybody, and he didn't cash in on those either. So again, they played really good defense, and they were active, and they had us out of rhythm, Doug. I'm not so sure. There wasn't pretty good opportunities there that we just need to score on too as well.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate the time as always.
Yep. See you, Doug.
We'll go next to Michael Grange from Sportsnet.
Nick?
Yeah, hi, Michael. Go ahead, bud. Yep, go ahead.
They had 11. You guys got whistled for 11 fouls in the first quarter. The whistle generally just seemed to be popping out of the refs' mouths a lot early. In terms of establishing a rhythm, was that a factor given the circumstances?
It didn't seem to be very good, like you said, Michael, at the start of the game and in the first quarter. I mean, it didn't seem to be. I'll have to watch it a little bit more, but it seemed like, he just a lot of weird plays. I thought couple costly ones were Gasol's moving screen there early in the game where he did not do anything, because I watched that at halftime. That was. I can't explain that. And then the third foul on Pascal, obviously, that I tried to review was microscopic. I don't know how you see that. So yeah, it was tough, but it was all part of the bad rhythm, Michael. I don't want to sit here and we didn't play nearly well enough or hard enough or good enough or fast enough or tough enough to win today, so we got our butts kicked.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
Next, we have Josh Lewinberg from TSN.
Hey, Nick. You had mentioned before the game that you weren't quite sure how guys were going to be able to manage the emotions given the circumstance. I mean, obviously, there are tangible things that you guys could have done better during the game, but how much of it do you think was the emotional toll, just in terms of maybe not being as locked in as you were a week ago?
I mean, it's hard to say, Josh. I mean, I think if you're looking for excuses, or reasons, maybe excuses is too hard. You can sit there and say it's understandable, and maybe it is. But what do you do? I mean, you gotta, like I say, we got this moment where we got to play, and we can use our thoughts and energies towards a lot of positive good away from the games And there's a lot of time to do that, but when it comes time to play, we got to somehow focus in and play. I mean, they went through the same stuff and it didn't seem to bother them, right? So they were great, and we weren't very good today. So we're gonna have to bounce back.
You went big with the two centers to start the second quarter and went to the zone there as well. It seemed to disrupt them a little bit offensively during that stretch. What did you like about that stretch to begin the second quarter?
Well, I mean, obviously, Josh, I was searching a little bit, right? We just, again, it was hard when just nothing was going right, right? Nothing, the ball wasn't bouncing our way. We were making bad decisions. The whistle was funky. Layups were being missed. Wide open threes were being missed. It was hard. I was just trying to search for anything to slow them down, and it was great. I think we started off great. They scored 39 points in the first, and I think it took them about 5 minutes to get a bucket in the second. I think they had 2 with 7-something left to go. So we were doing it. We just weren't cashing in enough at the other end. And I was just searching for anything, Josh, at that point. But I think it looked okay. Right? I think it looked okay out there, which is a good sign.
Thanks, Nick. Have a good night.
You too, Josh. Thank you.
Next, we have Eric Kareen from The Athletic.
Hey, Nick. You mentioned Pascal missing a few bunnies earlier. You kept him on a bit longer than the rest of the starters. Was that just in the hope that he could find some sort of rhythm and see the ball go in a few times?
Not really, Eric, but I actually had him coming out, and then he got fouled at the free throw line, and I switched the sub to somebody else just to keep the sub train moving. So he accidentally got a little bit longer than he wanted than the other guys just because of that moment. Yeah.
Yeah. He was operating a lot out of the post tonight and has been a lot of in the bubble. Do you think there are opportunities for him to attack from other spots on the floor? Do you guys need to put that in for him more, or are you just generally happy with what he's getting and the shots will fall?
I think Eric will always look at trying to get him involved in about all areas, as a post-up player, as a jump shooter, as a handler in the screen and roll, as a setter in the screen and roll. Yeah, I think we got to mix it up and vary it. Even some isolations on top, ISOs on the side. Hopefully get him involved in the transition game a little bit as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Eric.
Next question goes to Tim Reynolds from the Associated Press.
Nick, it's kind of like I asked you in the pregame about the gym being a sanctuary. Did you feel like there was any joy pregame? Did you have any sense that things were off pregame?
No, I didn't have any sense that things were off, but there was no joy. There was no joy. First of all, the pregames take like half an hour from the time the horn sounds to the time they throw the ball up. So I don't think anybody really enjoys that big delay between warming up and the ball going up, and there's not any joy in that part of it. I mean, it was a tough day for us, right? So we didn't have nothing. Nothing was much fun out there today.
Next, we go to John Schumann from NBA.com.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? What'd you take away from their corner threes and your help off of those corners? Something that you really have to address going forward, or just a bad night in that regard?
Well, I think certainly both, probably, John. I think there was some mistakes that we made to give some of those up, and there was a couple really blatant ones like guys were bottled. There was a couple where guys were bottled up, and we just ran to double team for some reason and left the corner three guy out of there. So I got to take a look at those, because there was a couple really blatant ones that were just breakdowns. But they did a nice job too. I know they ran some stuff to set up some of the corner three stuff, and not only did it get them the shot, they were hitting them in the heart. So they did a good job.
Do your breakdowns tend to side on or tend to be on the side of aggressiveness like that, rather than other kinds of breakdowns?
Yeah, they also, They do. They also tend to side on when the ball's not going in for us. We lose some energy defensively and some thought process when the ball just continues to roll off the rim and go out. That's part of it too.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Final two questions here. First one goes to Stephen Long from Sportsnet.
Hey, Coach.
What's up, Steven?
Your offense is obviously predicated on a lot of transition buckets, getting on the fast break and scoring easy ones, right? You guys only had 7 tonight, so I was just wondering, what did the Celtics do to maybe limit you in that area, and what can you possibly do to kind of break out a little more going forward?
Well, they're getting a lot of bodies back, Steven, really quickly and really well, right? They're really even on turnovers, just change of possession, whether it's a defensive rebound or a turnover, they're getting a lot of bodies back. And we're just going to have to try to, when you want to play in transition, you got to run a little harder and push the ball a little better and throw it ahead a little bit more and be just a little bit more aggressive.
And does them making shots make it more difficult for you to jump out in transition as well?
Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, it's always hard to score. Well, it's almost impossible to score, Steven, in transition when the ball goes through the net and you have to take it out. So, but I'm saying I thought we got a lot of defensive rebounds and we got a lot of turnovers that we didn't turn into much. So again, a little bit of just the energy of the game. That was just another factor. The energy of the game wasn't very good for us.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Yep, you're welcome.
And final question goes to Bruce Arthur from the Toronto Star.
Nick, I know you can't figure out why this happened, right? There's the early fouls, there's the emotion of the week, there's whether shots go down, there's all these different pieces to it. But as a team, how do you usually find rhythm and energy? How does this team usually generate it? And where did you kind of see that not happen today?
Well, I think that there's a number of factors there, Bruce. I think it's just locker room feel, energy from the bench, obviously just some connected play early on both ends of the floor, the ball going in. I think there's a lot of ways to try to feel your energy / rhythm. And we seem to be battling it from virtually the start. I mean, really, right from the start, it seemed tough. I thought we created some really good things, and we came away with nothing to show for it. 5 minutes into the game, 3 or 4 minutes in the game, we got no points, right? And we literally had a layup to start the game, and a couple wide open threes as well early, and just nothing went. And I don't know, we're gonna have to do a heck of a lot better job to find the energy and rhythm come Tuesday.
I know you talked about this a little bit yesterday, but as a coach, basketball is usually the thing, right? When they walk into the gym, it's the thing. It's one of the things about this team that's been the exceptional professionalism of this team. How have you tried to balance this week in which, I mean, for a lot of these guys, they said that they were close to leaving as a team on Wednesday, where basketball doesn't necessarily feel like the most important thing all the time, but when the game starts, it still is.
Well, Bruce, all I can say is not only myself, but I try to do the best I can with it, right? I think that you got to have a little bit of a caring process to it, right? It's the first thing. And you can't really put it in silos because they do kind of blend together sometimes, right? But you just try to do the best you can, and we got our butts kicked, and we're going to have to face it in the mirror here for 2 days, and then we get another chance on Tuesday. And then in between time, we'll continue to work on social justice and a platform and being better people.
Just the last one. Have you ever had a challenge like this as a coach?
What challenge?
Well, just all the different pieces that you have to juggle within your own team in this environment, in this time that we're all living through?
I mean, I don't think so, Bruce. I think it's a unique scenario. That's for sure. I don't think I could ever say I've had a challenge like this one, but I've had lots of challenges in many unique situations, and this is another one. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have to look in the mirror here for a while, and we're gonna have to come out and play.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, Coach, for your time today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Bye, everybody.